Shout out to KP for that beat.
We at MMX 8, the 8th annual, and I'm excited right now. I don't even know what to say, so I got to introduce this guy. You know, some people might know him as the professor, but I know him as AD Carson. Yes. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, all is well, man. All is well. You know, this is really a full circle moment. I remember you was my professor when you were probably just starting to get your teaching thing going.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you had a hip hop class here at Millikin.
Yeah. I was still an undergraduate. I was just telling somebody that, when I was an undergraduate here, I proposed the class to the English department, and it was writing rap roundtable.
Yep.
And that was wild that happened. Now, I'm doing
Literally,
it.
I know, right? You actually doing it, and they kind of coined you as, I'm talking about big publications, professor of hip hop, man. How does that feel when you just know that you started off rapping, now you are like a professor, like they know you for teaching hip hop?
Yeah, no, that's my actual title. I'm associate professor of hip hop and Shannon Center fellow at the University of Virginia. So, that's not hyperbole. That's literally, like
that's what it is.
What's there, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so that's not a nickname or nothing. That's my title. And I mean, I think that is cool. I feel like I appreciate the opportunity to do work that to do work that's meaningful to me, but also that work can be about something, that it actually, a headline might talk about the fact that the work is being done in rap music. The thing that I'm more interested in is what I get to say or what people might learn from the content of the music. So that's, for me, far more important than any of the other stuff, is that when I do my academic work, it's the same kind of work that I was doing when I was writing, my first, second, third album here, and like making songs in my apartment, over here in the woods. It's the same thing now, but it's just in a different, just a different context, and we making it happen.
Making it happen for sure. Now, tell me, what school are you teaching at now?
I'm at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay, I don't think I've ever been in Charlottesville, Virginia. I know at one time, were you at Clemson?
I did my PhD at Clemson in rhetorics, communication, and information design. I wrote an album called Owning My Masters, The Rhetorics of Rhymes and Revolutions. That was defended in 2017, so I got the PhD. And that album that I wrote to get the PhD has just been peer-reviewed and published with University of Michigan Press.
Oh, wow.
And so, that's out there as well.
Oh, wow, man.
Yep.
I mean, you really making moves. Like, what is it that you really teach when it comes to hip-hop? Like, so what is a student learning when they come to your class?
Okay, so I teach a class called Writing Rap, and people literally just learn how to write raps. I mean, in the same way that if you take advanced composition, like a writing class in an English department, you're going to learn how to write, 5 different kinds of essays. And in this class, we write 18 different kinds of rap verses. And then
like battle rap.
They do a battle rap. They do a self-naming rap.
Okay.
They do a rap that is like just figurative language, or something where they're rhyming from the perspective, like, prosopopeia, like where you're rhyming from the perspective of an inanimate object.
Okay.
Like all of, and then you listen to songs that exist both historically and contemporarily that might do these kinds of things. So you hear all kinds of self-naming raps. You hear all kinds of like where I'm from raps, or raps about like how I made it, like these kinds of things. So I try to give them the opportunity to look at the different kinds of functions that a rap might have.
Okay.
And then we talk about histories, like we're talking about what was going on in the world in the late 60s or early 70s that got us to a point that rap might be formalized as an element of what is called hip hop culture now, or what eventually started being called hip hop culture, because we also know that folks were writing and performing raps way before a thing called hip hop culture existed.
Yeah.
And so something like, if you look at what's the dude's name who made Here Comes the Judge, who performed it on Saturday night or on the Tonight Show. Like, you see that performance in the late 60s, but if you look at the performance, the dude is rapping.
You're rapping, okay.
Right? And it's a call and response kind of thing, and maybe folks will argue about what the genre is, but if you listen to it, you'll hear it. So there's that, and I want folks to know then, like, there's not a definitive history. There are histories and traditions that we can talk about and we can think about, and you are in those traditions, even if you don't decide to read about them or learn how to write them. You can't remove yourself from a tradition that precedes you. That's just not possible. I also teach a class on listening. So how do you even hear everything that's possible to hear in the music that you believe that you love, or that you believe that you make?
Wow.
So that class is called The Black Voice. I don't believe a black voice exists. I mean, it's in scare quotes to say that we know that race is a construct. We know that it's artificial, but what does it mean when a person says you sound black or you don't sound black? What are they communicating whenever they say that? Because we also both know that somebody is communicating a set of things when they say that. And so that class is to help students understand what is meant by that whenever folks are deploying that kind of language. And then I teach a class called Composing Mixtapes. And that's 15 students. They write an album together. They write, produce, record, and release the album all over the course of the semester. So they just did their final, which was a release event. They did that Thursday.
Okay.
And it was well attended, and a lot of folks have never made music, never made an album with anybody, and so it takes really seriously what you might learn from the process of making an album with a whole lot of different people. Yeah. I don't imagine those students want to be rappers or want to be performers or anything, but I think that making the music has a whole lot of transferable skills that will make these people very valuable to whatever disciplines or whatever jobs they go into after they finish.
Yeah, man. So have any of your students went to find like success in music, or or keep going for those who probably never rapped before? Is anybody stuck with it and kept going?
Yeah. There are folks who are still performing now. They folks who have done big things, both in academia, in music, and in academia, in music, and in entertainment. We have students who are graduate students, in places like Harvard,
wow,
Oxford,
wow,
Cambridge,
okay.
and Brown, and then also folks who are doing all kinds of cool things, music industry wise, not just rap related.
Okay.
And so they're out there, but I hope to let them tell their stories rather than try to attach them. Like they did the work they did. That ain't got as much to do with me.
Yeah.
But they've gone on to do really dope things, and so I'm proud of that work too.
That's dope, man. And working with younger people is something that I think you're pretty good at that.
Word.
Whether it's they're young people or people who just don't have a lot of experience, you can break it down and make it simple enough for us to kind of understand. And what some folks don't remember, a lot of people don't remember that I was on the radio at one point. I think that's really where I got my start. And honestly, I think that's kind of how I met you, was through whenever I was on the radio, because I used to play your music every now and again.
Yeah.
And then eventually you made the intro to one of my shows, or I think I played it every night. I think you probably,
Word, I remember that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was a long time ago, man, close to 20, bro.
Wow.
That was a long time ago. So, man, we really been in this thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Just seeing you grow and constantly grow with an intention to I guess for knowledge, man, like you one of the smartest brothers I know. I'm gonna keep it real. You one of the smartest brothers I know. So, you know what I'm saying? I just want to just big you up about that. But now that you're here, I mean, before you do your keynote today, we gotta go back to the roots, man. I gotta get a quick little freestyle. I got my phone ready. You not prepared. I know. It's funny. It's okay. You never prepare for a freestyle, but you got a lot of words to say. So I'm gonna just throw something on, produced by KP. Okay. I know it don't matter what beat you like. I'm gonna just go with something called, let's say round one. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's called round one, produced by KP Beats. Yeah, let's get a vibe for it.
Shout out to KP for that beat.
You like that one?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
okay. Okay.
We can. This takes a little effort. That's why I do it better. Shine like the sun for one, and I'ma do it whether or not it's sunny, cold, or hot. I write a lot, and eclipse y'all, that's writer's block. Night or not, no sun shines when sun rhymes. Consistent spitter, these niggas just witty, sometimes. Some of the time, I'm like summer with mine. They scatter showers, I bring lightning and thunder with mine. Wanted some time, just wanted to rhyme and touch minds, even one at a time. So now I got it going. No more hoping or supposing, married to it, no proposing, dairy do it, no more posing, still a model, nigga. Sort of a novel, nigga. Just not like a book or an idea, just follow niggas. As cold as winter snow, as hot as hell's flame. Some people say it's cliche, this is not a game. When I put pen to paper, put vocals over tracks, it's pure murder. Jesus couldn't bring you jokers back. Lazarus last stand. Yes, I'm a bad man. Check up the verse. This verse here is a jab and nothing less than advance. Notice to pretenders. A dot is the #1 contender. Taking our challenges, talented. Put your balance up. I hear a lot of talking out there. This here's your silence.
Ooh, yeah. Now you heard it. I'm the professor of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard that for the professor of hip hop, AD Carson. Thank you for coming through today, man. I appreciate you, man. 5 o'clock, you got your keynote. You're doing a keynote today. So I'm gonna let you go get prepared, man. But thanks for coming through the Sweet 704 booth and blessing us with a freestyle and just catching us up on what all you got going. Thank you, sir.
You, man.
All right.
Yes.
Did you like this video? Cool. Well, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and stick around. We got plenty of more where that came from.